Well, hello, everybody. It is Wednesday. It's time for Hammer Away once again. You can see right here we've got another open chat today. We thought we'd give it another shot. When I say we, I mean, I suppose me. Maybe there's more of me than I think. I know right now there's more of me. I could eat a little less.
Can you
Like,
dig it? Can you dig it?
yeah, we can dig it, I think. We're going to have an open chat today. We're crossing genres with a question today. I like crossing genres a little bit because the fact that sometimes there's a lot of music out there and there's things that you like that are, I'm a metalhead, right? Love my metal, but that's not what it's all about. It's also about, you know, back in the day, what we had adult contemporary, we have funk, we have soul, R&B, we got, there's hip hop. I'm not really into all that, but there's country music, not really into that, but there's still things that I like that are influenced by those. And times in my career where I dealt with a merging of those, which is awesome. And we've had it happen still. I'm not into all the what's on the radio and the pop stuff, but it does happen still where people get together and they kind of cross over. So that's cool, right? Today I was talking about the song uh sure, Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper. And I think I've told you that story. I did talk to somebody else regarding that story as well. Anyway, so Time After Time ended up being one of my favorite songs out of the 80s, still resonates with me. I have it as one of my ringtones, and but a great song. But then covered by Eva Cassidy later on, and that version would end up being in Smallville. How about that? So so I dig lots of kinds of music. Obviously, I just went and saw Barry Manilow live. He's a part of this question. And I think you may have all read it out there in the description. Let's check out who's here with us today already. Now, this is going to be a quick one today because I got so much to do. There's a lot to do before tomorrow. I got a guest going to be coming to the house. So thank you so much, Lance. Support the Hammer Away channel by tapping that like button and subscribe. Yeah, grab that hammer, however big or maybe even small, like that, and just tap it if you want to. But if you want to do it big time, then let's see if I can do this. Yeah. If you want to do it big time, get the real hammer and smash it. You know how to do it. So what we're talking about today is finding out what's going on. Today's National Comic Book Day. Oh, son of a! I always miss it. And then it's like, I don't know. I'll be out tonight. I got a comic shop down the street. Who are your favorite comic book characters? Ooh, great open chat question. I might just have to open chat next week when I've got more time again. My favorite comic book characters have always they kind of span. They cross over a little bit. Because I have some DC characters I like, although I didn't collect DC comics much at all. I got some from one of my brother's girlfriends years ago. There was some Teen Titan stuff back in the day, and that was really cool stuff. But my all-time favorites, though, Iron Fist, Shang-Chi. Go back and find out what Shang-Chi was and read those. When it was called Master of Kung Fu. Those were great. So those are a couple of my favorites. I always loved the Avengers, especially during the years when George Perez was doing it, which was late 70s into the 80s. So all of those related characters. Black Panther was always one of my favorites. And then there were some off-brand ones, what I would call off-brand, which were, short-lived, but made it in and out of other storylines. Like Deathlock was one of my favorites, big-time favorites. And then I enjoyed collecting the original versions of Devil Dinosaur and Machine Man, which were a couple of newer things that were brought about by Jack Kirby. So it's kind of cool. Those were neat comics. So yeah, those were some of my favorites. I collected the series of the Champions, which was a real eclectic group of heroes that got together. You're talking about Hercules. Hold on. If you're not familiar with the Champions, this is really crazy. So check this out. Here's the team: Hercules, Black Widow, Ghost Rider, Iceman. I think is that it? Ghost Rider, Hercules, Black Widow, Iceman. Seems like there's one other one though that I'm not thinking of. I don't know. John Byrne stepped into that one and did a lot of that cool work in there. X-Men was a big favorite of mine back then too, because John Byrne did some awesome stuff. Silver Spoons premiered on this date in 1982. Never was a big Silver Spoons fan. I watched some of it, but not a big fan. But Aaron, what can we say? On this day in 72, Black Sabbath released Volume 4. Kick-ass record. Right there on this day in 72, sorry, I just did that because we doubled it up. Oh, and then 2 years later or 4 years later on the same date, they released Technical Ecstasy. Interesting pop art on the cover of that. Kind of sexual. 44 years ago today, September 25th, 1980, John Henry Bonham passed. John Bonham. I had a chance to meet up with Jason Bonham a few times over the years. Real cool to meet up with him. 54 years ago today, September 25th, 1970, The Partridge Family premiered. Maybe we'll start doing maybe I'll do a little Partridge Family deep dive. I own all of it. So it ran from March of 74 on the ABC network as part of a Friday night lineup. What do you know about that? 60 years ago today, September 25th. There you go. 64. Really? Gomer Pyle was on. Wow. I wasn't even born yet. Isn't that nice to say sometimes when you're my age? I wasn't even born yet. I was just about there. I was on the way. Originally aired on CBS until May 2nd of 69. 69. Black Sabbath liked to release albums today. I guess so. I guess so, Drew. So what are you going to say? I think we finish up the same day. Yeah, September 25th. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, man. It's like I just found out that my friend and his sister were born on the same day. I'd forgotten that. I guess I probably knew it. So good to see you guys. Drew, let's see. Drew, Lance. What's up, Casey? What is up? Can't stick around. Yeah. Wanted to say I really appreciate that. I do. Getting ready. Oh, there you go. Getting ready for PRGE. Lots of video game fun. Yeah, sounds fun. I need to get one of to one of those. Gotta get out there. It's my favorite trip each year. Nice. Machine Man, thanks, Lounge Dweller. Yeah, man. Machine Man made it all the way up into the Marvel Zombies series too. I mean, I didn't collect that, but I did notice that he was in that. Machine Man was a lot of fun, man. That was some great stuff. Angel, thank you. I knew that. I'm like, there's somebody else. Angel, yes. Yeah, so Angel and Iceman from X-Men were both in the Champions. Emma Jade, how are you? How are you? It's great to see you. Lots of love going around here. I don't know about perfect. I did see a picture of him recently, though. He's not, I mean, he's really, man, he's finally getting to that. You know, as we've said over the years, I can't, like Keith Richards, can't believe that he's still around, you know, but now to that point where you're like, how much longer is it going to be? It seems. Partridge Family and David Cassidy recorded they really did. Thank you for saying so, Lounge Dweller, because, you know, actually they fit within this question that I'm going to ask that you probably already all know if you read what today's show is about. Yeah. Point me in the direction of Albuquerque. We owned their first album. I still have that copy over there of the first album that we had on Bell Records. There was another another artist that was on Bell Records that had a huge hit back in the early 70s, and a lot of people would call it a real corny hit. Now, it was a cover too, and I think it was the Kingston Trio did it originally. If anybody knows what that is, tell me what that is. Zap that like button. Thank you, Emma. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Weekend at Ozzy's. Oh shit. Oh. Oh, so should I get my voice ready for doing that? If I'm gonna have to pull an impersonation. So the question today is regarding album covers. What are those bands that have been immortalized, or artists that have been immortalized on their album covers? I've got a couple other ones that I was going to show here, and I haven't converted them yet. So I realized when I was putting them in, I have to convert a couple of them. So I'll do that right now. And I don't have to convert that one. And it's really interesting, you know. I mean, it's so interesting as to how, you know, they come up in my head when I'm thinking about them. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, wait a minute, they had one and they did that. I got to remember what I just did. Okay, so I think it was. Well, okay, I know how to do it. Okay. All right, so this one, and where's the other one? Oh, and this one, and I think that was it. Yeah. So I'm talking about bands that, you know, the biggest one to remember is, of course, Kiss. They've been immortalized in artwork so many times over the years. So here we go with Destroyer, and of course, let's see what else we have here. I just want to make sure I kind of go in order. Then Love Gun right after that, because they had a photo on the first album, a photo on the second album, photo on the third album, photo on the fourth album, the live album. Then they did Destroyer, and then they were immortalized again. Now, Poopy, where'd I put it? Where did I put it? I don't know why it's not showing up here. What happened? What happened? Did I not? No, of course I got to convert it still. I didn't convert it. That's on me. So I will do so, and I'll get it right in here and do it. And there you go. Okay, so let's go back, cancel, and I'm going to add that in. All right, because we want to go in order here. We don't have to, but that's the way I do things. So then you had Love Gun. You had Rock and Roll Over. All right, so there's a piece of artwork, another piece of artwork, and then here we go with this beautiful piece of artwork for Love Gun. All right, and then of course right after that, immortalized again on 4 solo albums the following year in '78. There was even they kind of took some of that artwork and put it on in that embossed way on double platinum. But these were amazing records. And of course, then they would do it again when they had Unmasked. The other albums after that, I mean, there were things that were kind of illustrated, I suppose, but they're almost like photo illustrations. They're not really like these, where they were portraits or cartoon versions of them. You know, another band that was like that is Man of War. Was another band that immortalized themselves in artwork. Was very much like this, right? You just look at them. It's just crazy. Now, here's one of my all-time favorites. Now, this one is from the mid 70s. This is one of my favorites, and it's also on my Mava case list, is Blue Oyster Cult, Secret Treaties. They're in this drawing. And this is the drawing that made me think that Eric Bloom was like 6 foot tall, and he just isn't. So it was kind of wild, but yeah, Secret Treaties, this beautiful sketch piece, was wonderful. I loved it. Like I said, I went and saw Barry Manilow, and he actually put this piece of artwork on the screen while he was on stage, because he goes, "Does that really look like me?" And I got a big laugh from the crowd. This is another one that really, really turns me on. It's an interesting piece, and why? I'm gonna keep track of the chat here too, folks. But here's one that really gets me going, because this one is a depiction of the band America from their greatest hits album. But who did the artwork? There you go. Immortalized on their greatest hits album by Phil Hartman. Yes, comedian, actor Phil Hartman did that. His signature's right down here at the bottom. Then, of course, one of my all-time favorite artists. Now, I don't. This is probably the last one I've got laid in here, but we were just talking about one the other day. In fact, I could probably find it and put it in. I know I can, because I had it on here recently. Where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So anyway, but this one, I've been a big fan of Frazetta over the years. And Frank Frazetta's artwork, I love it. And Boris Vallejo. And even Boris Vallejo's wife, Julie Bell, is killer. She does some great work too. And then when Molly Hatchet, I don't know what did the shift, but their first album, of course, was the Death Dealer on the Horse, and then the Molly Hatchet album. Then they had Flirting with Disaster, which was a Frazetta painting of the Viking coming forward. Then Danny Joe Brown was gone, and so then they did an album called Beating the Odds, and they had the kind of a Conan cover from Frazetta on that. Then Danny Joe Brown came back. Well, nope, sorry. And then they switched. They switched from Frazetta to Boris Vallejo, and with Farrar in the band. And then they did this album, which immortalized them finally. So it was just regular paintings by Frazetta and such. And then they put this out, which had all the heads of these guys, which is very indicative. I wish I had the artwork right here. Very indicative. I could probably find it. Let me see if I can do that real quick here. It was very indicative of the painting and what was done in Dodgeball. Let me see if I can Boris painting Dodgeball with Ben Stiller. There it is. Okay, cool. See if I can save this real quick. It was hilarious because I've known of this painting because I had the original in a Ben Stiller Boris on a calendar, and the original one has this warrior. It was on the. Let me see if this is the original. Wait a minute, is that the original? I thought it looked a little different than that. I don't know if that's the right one. But anyway, let's take a look at this though on the screen, because this was great. So that they did the same thing. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see. Where'd it go? La, 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 la. Must not have saved it in the right spot. Oh, because I'm in a different folder. Sorry. Never mind. I know what's going on. Yep, there it is. You guys remember this? It was in his office. And this was originally a different piece. I don't know if I can find the original, but anyway, so you see how they take these and I'm sure Boris does it himself. I'm sure he probably did that one, but maybe not. I'm not sure. Yeah, I would assume that he had him do that. One of the newer ones too, one of the bands that I cover a lot is the Midnight Devils. They're another band that's been immortalized on their album covers through illustration. So let me get back to the chat here and we will see. Do you guys have some ideas on some other ones? When you mentioned this Partridge Family and David Cassidy, it always makes me think of the story that I talk to people about, because they're like, oh, well, I didn't know if I liked him, but then I heard him live and then I really liked it. And that just goes back to him always wanting to really rock things out on stage. Alice Cooper. Yeah. So just help me out, Drew, which album cover did they have? Oh, I know what it was. Yes, you're right. Alice Cooper. What was it? Fistful of Alice. It's called Fistful of Alice. Is that what it was? You're right, Alice Cooper. Yeah. Alice Cooper covers. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, because it was the one. There it is. Yeah. Raise Your Fist and Yell is the one that I'm thinking of. Oh, no. And Welcome to My Nightmare. Yeah, you're absolutely right, dude. And the greatest hits as well. Lots of them there. Lots of them there for him. And then, of course, he was immortalized in a comic book when he did From the Inside. And he was immortalized there as well. Rob Zombie. You're right. Rob Zombie. So which album of Rob Zombie? Let me look that up. Rob Zombie covers. Rob Zombie. Yeah, there's one right there. It's pretty much an illustration, I think, right? Yeah, no, it still kind of looks like photography. I'm trying to find which album of his has him kind of drawn or painted. Because a lot of these look like they're kind of but I'm sure he's been drawn out on something, right? I mean, oh, well, here, what am I looking at this? What's the name of this album? Yellow Dog Disc. That's definitely an illustration. So there you go. Done. Vindicated. Approved. Happy 63rd birthday to Heather Locklear. All right. Showing. Deep Purple immortalized in wax on the burn cover, and Grand Funk. Yes, on the coin on E Pluribus Funk. Yes, both are awesome. Yeah, burn. Yeah, you're right. And did they do artwork of them, of their faces on Stormbringer as well? Or am I just thinking of Burn? Let's take a look at that. Deep Purple Burn. Yeah, I mean, they on the Burn cover, they're like candles. So they're made like up as candles. And then what is the other? Was it Stormbringer? Let's get in here and see Stormbringer, because it wasn't the front cover. It's like the back cover it's like there's the lineup of their faces. Yeah, I don't know. Stormbringer. I might have to look that up, because all it shows on the Wikipedia is the front. Stormbringer, Deep Purple. Let's see what it looks like. I wonder if it's on Discogs. That might help. Oh, no, there it is. I'm thinking of a Fireball. That's what I'm thinking of. I think that's artwork. Now, there are other ones that are very interesting, because it's like, Yngwie Malmsteen. Remember Yngwie Malmsteen? The Trilogy album was one as well. Ben Stiller is 5'7", according to Google. Just a little guy. You know, that takes me back to my friend's story about his wife tapping Jeff Tate on the head. Said, "You're just a little guy." She's 5'10". Yeah, another one too that I really enjoy is The Gods. They had artwork on the back of that. Let's see, The Gods cover. Let's see what we got here. I wonder if they have the back cover. Yeah, there it is. All right, so let me see if I can save this one too. Let's see if The Gods. Whoop. How's everybody doing today, though, by the way, as a matter of fact? Is there anybody else that's super busy like myself? As always. Like I say, just trying to get... Oh, that's a beautiful one too, Lounge Dweller. That, if we all remember, I just had it on the show the other day because I used that brilliant piece of artwork, which actually was in an ad when that came out in 79. They ran a full page ad. I believe it was in Playboy for that album, and put the album artwork on there. So good. So good. Yes, Ted Nugent. Yeah. Rob Zombie was drawn for the cover of Horror Hound the Horror. Okay, good. Yeah, all right. Jason Edmiston. Thank you. Thank you, Emma. Been busy with Halloween things. Do you like to decorate a lot? And do you do anything musically? Like I've put together mixed CDs of stuff. Maybe we'll do that. Let's come up with, over the weeks here leading to Halloween, let's all get together and think of your songs you would put on a Halloween mix. There's some completely obvious ones, but then there's some that kind of hide in the background, or you didn't know about it until just recently. Like I could, there's tons of burning witches stuff you could put on it now. So let's do that as we go over these next few weeks. And I tell you what, I got something special for you. Stuart Corden of Blitz over in the UK has agreed to come on with me, and we're going to count down all of the Phantasm movies. I'm going to watch one, and then we'll go over it on the show. And so why don't we save it for that? We'll just build it up as we go through Phantasm. Then we'll have a bitchin' playlist that I'll put out there on Facebook, and we can chat about it here. And that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, just kind of yep. It's something that I do. I love putting together those things. And then I've seen people do it where they put their speakers outside and then they have all this stuff playing. So I've done that in the past, and I have a projector. And so I set up a projector with some Scooby-Doo, and I just played it up on the screen, up on the garage door. So Viking Stew and the Phantasm Review. That's perfect. That's with Scooby-Doo. We could just like do that. Viking Stew and the Phantom Review with Scooby-Doo. It's going to be Stew and Stew. That's what's going to be funny about it. So yeah, some of the songs that come off the top of my head, of course, you think of the theme for Halloween, and then you think about Tubular Bells from The Exorcist, and then there, 6 Feet Under, like Kissing Dynamite. Thank you. Definitely on my playlist. That's great. That's wonderful. Thanks for mentioning Kissing Dynamite. My favorite song of theirs is In the Name of the Iron Fist. I love it. Scooby-Doo is your co-host. Yeah, that's great. And the Scooby-Doo theme song. And there's like, Monster Mash, and there's The Blob, and there's I Put a Spell on You, but some of the ones that I'm thinking about that come off the top of my head, there's 3 of them. I think about Molly Hatchet, AC/DC, and Blue Oyster Cult. So Blue Oyster Cult has multiples. So But what AC/DC song would I put on there? I can think of a couple of them right now. So what Molly Hatchet song would I put on there? There's our question. Can you answer that? So another band or artist that has been immortalized on their album, Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden was immortalized on their Somewhere in Time album. Derek Riggs did the artwork with that whole cityscape with all the reminiscence of their old albums and everything, and then had the Deathlock style Eddie on the cover. That's what's funny. If you don't know who Deathlock is, check him out. And that Eddie is influenced by Deathlock, the one from Somewhere in Time. So check that out. And then, but yeah, Iron Maiden is on the. It's a full wide painting, but it just flipped in half. I really wish they could have made a gatefold album for that. That would have been a great album, just like ELO's gatefold double album that they did when they did Out of the Blue. That would have been a great medium for that. Because again, that's something I miss was the album covers and looking at this huge piece of artwork and how beautiful it is, and you actually had to back up a little bit to open it up, and it wasn't like it's a nice little booklet, because that's how we said it. Let me see if I can think of. Oh, here, let me pull this up too. I was going to show you the Gods. It was a painting on the back of their album. Actually, it didn't appear on the front, but here it is. There they are, immortalized in artwork. I'm trying to think if I know that like Arlo Guthrie was, Michael Jackson was, and I'm just trying to think if there's anybody else that is immediate. I don't think Metallica ever was. But yeah, as you think of them, folks, let me know, and then we'll put together a little. Oh well, duh, yeah, it was great. Did I show that one already? I meant to. There it is. There it is. Yes, thank you, because that's the one I went to go get because I knew I just had it on the show. So yes, Angel, and with Felix. So they never did any artwork with Jones at all like that. But great album covers, great artwork. I mean, these again, these albums are massively awesome. Great artwork there. This is great. And they're all different. That's what I like about it. You've got this one. These are similarly a bit of Frazetta. The background is more Frazetta. The characters themselves in the front are more Marvel Comics, but this one is definitely very Frazetta. And then these are just some of my favorite pieces of rock art of all time. I just think they're gorgeous. Those paintings were amazing. Power of the Night by Savatage or Silver Talon is a great choice. Not sure who sings it better though. Interesting. I like it. I like it a lot. And then of course, like I say, Blitz is another band that's done that. Air Supply, there you go. Straight. Speaking of, I was just talking to somebody about the movie Rockstar. I think that was last week when I was talking to Corky. We mentioned Rockstar on the show. And what's the matter with Air Supply? Nothing if you're the cop from the Village People. What a great line. But yeah, just great stuff. Great stuff. So yeah, Air Supply, they had that. I think that was their greatest hits, and it might have been the same author, might have been the same artist that did this. It was a artist that was really big at the time, and yeah, it's great stuff. Thanks again though, Lounge Dweller, for that Ted Nugent. I mean that's one of my all-time favorites right there. You know what? I'm going to do it. Let's look it up. Weekend Warriors. I mean, it's such a great piece of art. So badass. I think that's what I like about it. It's completely badass. Well, come on. I hate when they don't give you a good, a real good big version of it. It's all just, they're so tiny, non-meaty. Yeah, that looked, well, I mean, this is kind of bitching. I'm going to go ahead and do this one because it's an old vinyl. And it looks it. But yeah, it's really, as far as much as I love it, it's really worth showing. Let's see if we can do. Hopefully it'll show up and I don't have to. No, I do. I have to convert it because that's the way it is. Convert that image. All right, and there it is. Open. And if you're not familiar with this one, you're gonna love it. Look at this. Look at that. That's a classic old vinyl. Mine looks a lot better than that. But yeah, what a beautiful piece of artwork. Just so kick-ass. I started doing a drawing like that too years ago. It's a lot more muscular guy I was using. But I have the illustration somewhere. I just saw it recently. Axis Bold as Love. There you go. Yes. Great album cover. Weekend Warriors was used for a pinball machine. I remember that. Thank you. That's why. I mean, that's why it resonates even further is because of that and Playboy magazine. Sorry, I'm a boy. When the day comes to an end, I'm a boy. Yeah, in fact, I used some of that artwork of Jimi Hendrix years ago to make a notepad in graphic arts class. So yeah, that should have come to my mind. I don't know if I was looking back here, if I could think of another one. Well, Frank Zappa, multiple times. One of the best. What's your favorite illustrated? How about we do that? What's your favorite illustrated Frank Zappa on an album cover? I kind of have two, just because. But I wonder if there was more of him illustrated on his own album cover. I mean, I think I know of one of the other ones, but I can't. I was never an aficionado on Frank Zappa. Here's one of them, and I will do a save here real quick. And let me see if I can. Okay. All right. I'm just going to put that in here, and I'll have to convert it. But let's see if I can find the other one. I was just talking about the other day his Shake Your Booty album, because I got that one autographed. I was talking about when I met him, when I met Terry Bozzio when he was playing for the Knack. But let me see if we can. Let me see if you're. Come on, where is it? There it is. I don't like this record. I don't, it just, and I'm eager to know if we have other Frank Zappa fans out there. Frank did amazing stuff. That's just the way it was. That guy did some crazy, amazing stuff, along with all of those people that worked with him, right? And but it just wasn't all for me. I didn't get it, and that's okay, right? You like to think that's okay. Let me see where I put that. There it is, and there, and there. But yeah, I just didn't always get it. Let's see, we have. There it is, and that one. Whoop, sorry about that. Oh, come on. There it is. All right. So these two albums, I owned the one that I really love, but this one I got from a woman I was dating way back when in high school. Was 200 Motels. There he is, right there in the middle. And I've never seen this movie front to back, and it's got Ringo Starr is in it. If you've never seen it, check it out. Yeah, I've got that on vinyl. It's in really great shape. I've rarely ever played it. And then this one, The Man from Utopia, a great album cover. What a killer album cover. Yeah, I just don't like the record. I can't listen. I just can't get into it. But that's just me. But anyway, well, think about it. I'm trying to remember. I know I'm going to get off of here and I'm going to go, oh, I wish I would have said something. I'm going to be working up my my album pieces back here. I'll take some pictures. I'll film that for you guys so that we can put it on here and I can show you the progress. My next thing is I bought these. This is a coaster, right? And so I bought these, and you see, I'm not really into Swan Lake, not that I don't like it or I don't think it's good. It's just, that's not me. So I bought these with the express purpose of making new labels and putting them on there myself. And so there's 6 of them. And so I'm in the midst of doing that. And then I'll put them on top of that. But then also I have my dividers that I've got back here that I'm going to be finishing up, and I'll take some pictures of that as I do that. Then also I'm realizing that this printer is really nice. I like it a lot, and it allows me to print things out from the internet, and I can use these as posters. I can frame these, put them up on the wall. So we have that. Here's the poster from the movie FM, and on video cassette. How about that? And this is the poster. This is a copy of which I actually have the poster still. I could just frame the poster, but just to put it all together with these, I thought, oh, I'll print this out. This is the poster that came with the soundtrack, the double album soundtrack. It was really, really good. Great soundtrack. We'll get back into that again soon. I'll go through the whole soundtrack because I went through all the credits. Because the soundtrack really only has, I think it's probably a third of the songs that were on the movie, maybe a little more than that. But there's a lot of songs that didn't make that soundtrack. Printer quality, yeah, I thought it did too. I thought it looked pretty dang nice. Now, the other thing that I'm doing, always remember that it prints better if you're printing out of like InDesign, which is what I eventually did with those, and they did print out better. I think I mentioned that. So just bear that in mind. If you have like InDesign or a program to put those in, do that and then print them all together. It comes out looking a lot better. Print quality is much darker. And yeah, because that's what you want. You want it to last longer. So yeah, I told you about the Phantasm stuff, and my band has a gig coming up in December. So I'm getting ready to get back into the flow of that. Hopefully the remodel and all the things will be coming along, but be sure and check out Go Game Go tonight. I think I'll make a brief appearance there, but I do have a million things to do before I have the guests over. So I am going to be busy with that tonight. So you'll see me maybe for a couple of minutes in the beginning, but keep an eye out. And then in the meantime, guys, have a wonderful evening. And, always remember it is, just remember when you walk outside your door every day, you're in everybody else's world. They're not in yours. And of course, I held my tongue again today. Somebody listening to a phone out in public. I'm like, you got headphones? Use some headphones. We don't need to listen to that. So think about it. All right, guys, take it easy. We'll see you next Wednesday and briefly tonight on Go Game Go. Take it easy.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?